you doing? It's the 9th of January, 2025. I'm a little beat up from cutting down trees and all of that. Dead trees, basically. So what's hard about dead trees is they're laying on the ground and you don't want to get your saw into the dirt. It ruins the sharpness of the chain. I've just learned so much. I didn't want to learn this much, but I had to learn it because I want to clean up everything that I see. That I want this to be so beautiful for people, regular folks, that need to just find a quiet retreat, a way to get away from the noise. It's the creek that's there. It rolls soft. It is a soft, not a lot of incline, gentle rolling stream. When you look at things, if you're not working, you feel just quietness in your soul, and that is absolutely essential for this time in human history. We got war. We got a real war. People don't realize it, but we're in World War III. Trump is reorganizing the whole world, and it's a good thing. It's better than the world we have been in, with fake wars that are instigated by the military-industrial complex to continue to sell defense stuff, and a lot of dead bodies everywhere, and it's terrible, and a lot of despotic leaders who suck up all their income from child trafficking, drug trafficking, illegal activities in America that then gets funneled back to their terrorist groups getting paid to kill people. Iran. I know and God is just like, no, we need a break. People talk about a great financial reset. We've already been through tremendous financial reset. Everything costs more and it's not going down. The price of things is going to stay at this level. Land, housing, cars, trucks, durable goods, appliances, they're not going down. I sell generators. The price went up. They went a new model, better features for the service guys and the installers. Looks a little cooler, but it's not going down. Generators aren't going down. HVAC equipment's not going down. Furnaces are not going down. Hot water heaters are not going down. So the cost of building a house is not going down. Price of wood, price of steel, not going down. So because that's true, we have to make more money. Or we just have to decide what's important, what's not important. A vacation here versus a vacation there. Or this college versus that college. Everything's being reevaluated. So today, I want to talk about a simple verse in the Bible. And it's so deep when you ponder it, but apply it to today, 2026. Without vision, the people perish. Okay, so what is the essential element of people not perishing? Perishing is a bad thing. Kiss the Son, Psalm 2. Kiss the Son, Jesus Christ, on a throne with an iron scepter. Kiss him lest you perish in the way. You're in a way, I'm in a way. We're all in a way. We have a life. It's short. We living it out, and then at some point it's over. And at that point, we're going to have to do business with that throne. Okay? So a good leader, a great king, a man with vision is doing what? He's preparing you for the throne. Because that's all that matters. In the end, all that matters is the throne of the living God, who is the judge of all things, including empires, including entities, including Satan and all his powerful commanders. That is our king, and he loves us. He's a suffering servant, but he's a powerful, powerful king. Without vision, what is the vision? Is it not for the throne? First and foremost, My vision for you and for me is the throne. Readiness for the throne. But then we get into details, right? Business plans, government help, fixing things in the economy, buying things that help promote more growth. Give a man a fishing pole, teach him how to fish versus give him money. All of this stuff are visionary things, like a whole new food supply, a whole new way of doing food. Local, regionalized, broken up, no more big conglomerate food supply houses that you can't even know. Like if you go to the store today and you buy milk, a gallon of milk, you do not know where that milk came from in North Carolina because there's no cows. We have cows in various little hidden spots in North Carolina, but our milk could be coming from Tennessee, Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, who knows? And who knows what's in that milk? At the dairy, it has to meet certain requirements to be taken in by a distribution company to bottle it and to ship it out to stores. But they move that around the way they want to move that around. Once it meets the criteria from the farmer, the distribution company can drain out all the water, move it around dry, and then add water at another location and bottle it. In essence, make it a dry powder and then just mix it with water. Like, you don't know where your milk is coming from. You don't know what kind of cows are producing that milk. Yet, milk is pretty important, especially to children, especially to athletes, especially to people, it's for your bones, right? It's for your gut health. If it's good raw milk, it's good for your gut health. And the whole misnomer on, gotta pasteurize, gotta homogenize, all of that is based on, wow, that's so beautiful. That is so gorgeous. Waterfall to my right. And that guy has a house, he lives right on a beautiful waterfall. So the dairy industry has been torched by consolidation and government controls that don't allow raw milk to be sold direct to the public. Now, the key with raw milk is obvious. Keep it cold. And you got so many days to drink it. Which, think about it, without refrigeration and electricity, people drank milk that day or tomorrow, or they turned it into butter, yogurt, or cheese. We think that we own health. We don't. We're terrible at it. We don't own food. We don't know what we're eating. We don't know where it comes from. And we certainly don't understand our milk, because guess what? Hardly anybody's dairy farming anymore. No kids are talking about growing up and being a dairy farmer. Is that a good thing? Right? So without vision, the people perish. Without milk, without good high quality milk that's good for your gut, your health is impacted. You're susceptible to disease. My daughter had cancer. Her body was out of alignment as far as pH and alkalinity. She went on a raw milk diet and she fixed her body. There's many stories like this if you look for them. Don't go to the government website. Go to real stories of real people. Without vision, people perish. So right now we got to restore milk. That's my vision. But there's many other things we need to restore. The family, the man, the marriage bed. We got to get technology at controlled levels. It cannot overtake the human being. Our children cannot be addicted to their phones and social media. All of this is going to have a breakdown point. Kids are not going to be able to talk. Children are not going to be able to communicate and relate to one another because they're staring at a freaking phone all the time and not talking to people. Without vision, people perish. So somebody has to come along. Trump was on the large scale, but me here in North Carolina, Surrey, and Stokes County I have a vision, have had a vision for a long time. Now I have the land, just starting out. But I have a vision for that land. It's going to take, obviously, a good amount of money to make it happen. But it's going to be a working dairy farm with cows that produce high butterfat milk that I will sell directly to the public via herd shares and via pet milk consumable. Okay? That's allowed in North Carolina, and it needs to get better, not worse. They tried to take it out last year and said, oh, no more herd shares. That would be the worst thing for North Carolina. But not only am I trying to restore the health through milk, I'm trying to create jobs, beautiful jobs, work that young men and women can do together as a family. There's nothing better. Yeah, the family farm is hard, but you have each other. And you can hand it down to your children and teach them, and then they can do it. And what are they doing? Food producing. So for 40 years, I had no involvement with food production. I was not a farmer. I was raised on a farm family, raised on a farm, raised how to raise cows, milk cows, all that. Breed cows, love it. But we lost the farm when I was in college. So what have I done? I've learned business. I've learned how to market. I've learned how to sell stuff. I've learned how to put in clean air, clean energy. I did clean stuff for 40 years. Things that are solving real problems. Because firemen for almost 20 years, I cleaned the air of a fire station because these guys are breathing horrible diesel exhaust inside their house. And I went all over the country doing that. And then solar, because it's smart to put solar panels on houses and use that energy to make power. It's a use your roof productively. It's not about saving the earth. It's not about any of that. It's about smart distribution of power. If you have a little bit of solar power everywhere, it helps feed into the grid, which helps the grid have less stress. All of that is truth, works. So without vision, people perish. So if you don't have Donald Trump, what are you going to have? A government that is just given over to fraud, waste, wickedness, funding bad things like kids getting sex changes when they're 12 years old without the parents' consent, boys in girls' locker rooms, many other evil things. NGOs that are fake, LLCs that are fake, they're nothing more than just little hubs for people to pass money through to Belize or wherever, Cayman Islands, to hide their stolen money through the sale of drugs, which Trump's dealing with. And without vision, this nation will perish. And God sends us a guy that people have demagogued, made into a monster, Hitler, when the very opposite is what he's trying to save America. You can say, well, I don't agree. Fine. But what's your plan? Right? Same thing you can say to me. Oh, Jonathan, you have these grandiose ideas and this and that. But what's your plan? What are you going to do? Instead of complaining, what are you going to do to fix America? America's a mess. Young people need help. Young people need better work. Young people need guidance. So, I'm a father of 8. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Me and my wife have given over our own will to do our own fun stuff. At this point, we should have an empty nest. At this point, we could be traveling. At this point, we could have a lot less costs. But we decided to submit to God's will and have more children. We had 5 and then we had 3 more. But we had even 2 more pregnancies beyond that. So my wife gave her body over to being a mother, not to looking pretty. She's pretty to me for sure. But when you give your body over to that many pregnancies, it affects your body forever. Kids, when you have a baby in your womb, it pulls at your teeth. It affects the long-term welfare of your teeth because of the nutrients that the baby pulls out of you to grow inside of your womb. Women are amazing, and especially mothers. Without vision, the people perish. So we need women to love motherhood again. We need men to want to marry women that want to have kids instead of having a nice little fun time. Because that fun time's going to end when you get old. Who's going to take care of you on your deathbed? Without vision, people perish. You have no kids, you have nobody taking care of you. You're a lonely, miserable human being. Family is the core of society. Children are our future. Without kids, there's no reason to do anything. Children are the future. And if you don't know that, you are clueless. And most socialists give a crap about kids. They want to own the kids. To make them like them, which is not a father, not a mother, but let the government be your, that's what communism is. The government is your God. The government is your daddy. And it's not working. Look at the inner city. Crime-ridden, problems, gangs, drugs. The whole thing has been seen now for 5-6 decades. Without vision in the inner city, those people will continue to perish. Without vision for colleges to really teach kids skills that matter, that are not just about technology or sociology or criminal justice, which obviously you can have a job in criminal justice because there's a lot of criminals. But what we're talking about here is productivity. Productivity is people inventing things, patenting things, coming up with new business ideas, and going out, taking a risk, getting some money, because you need some money, but we should fund those people with good business plans. Farmers with good business plans, not farmers with dumb plans, but farmers with real high quality, well marketed, well thought through, analytical, takes into consideration all the variables. Those business plans should and must be funded. Again, and finally, I'm going to say it. Without vision, the people, you and me, our nation will perish. Shalom.